unleash the unthinkable, and hell is upon the earth. In the post-apocalyptic world we now live in, it is not what it used to be. Today there's so much pain, heartache, and suffering. Let me tell you a story. It all began in the future, in the year 2041. There's this one man who is now called the Renegade. He is sitting back, thinking about all the signs that led up to this, taking events that has already happened, and reading about past posts that was dropped on a little unknown Facebook page. That page was instrumental in who he had become. He wishes he could have made many decisions that could have altered the timeline, and it could have saved many innocent lives that were lost so long ago. If only the world would have listened, our future might not have turned out like this. So say a prayer that we correct the timeline before it is too late. Welcome everybody. You notice I am unscheduled stream tonight. I'm live. Let's talk about the Iran shit that's going on out there. As my little buddy says, let's just see. But before we get started, remember, you can always find us on Facebook, Twitch. We got Instagram, we got Twitter, we got all kinds of media outlet sources. Just go ahead and search for the Renegade Network, and I guarantee you probably find it. Look for my little face, my little logo with the guy in the little mask. That's got to be me. I mean, there's not too many crazy people out there that's going to don a costume and come before you and try to tell you what's going on before the news does, or even try to give you some current intel. But tonight's show, let me run that little clip for you. Tonight's show, there was, as I said, I didn't have any scheduled topic. So as you see, there's no topic discussion tonight. The only thing that was on my mind, which is on a lot of your minds, is the Iran. What the hell does that mean for you and me? Don't be scared. I dropped the link. Let me go ahead and drop the link again. Stand by. Let me go ahead and drop the link. Let me drop it over here in over here. That's where it's at. Paste. There. Nope. No, that's not it. Just a second. I got everything set up, so try to make it easier on me. Copy. There you go. Don't be shy. I know some of you are at work. Some of you are busy trying to raise your family, trying to make ends meet. But tonight, like I said, I want to be live so that if you got any message, anything on your mind, let's talk about prepping. Let's talk about communication. Now, you will probably hear the guys in the background. We do have some downtime, and they are probably playing some type of game. That's how they unwind and everything else. So if you hear them talking, just overlook that because everybody's got to relax and have fun, and there's nothing wrong with that. Now, let me see how many people we got going on tonight. Let me see. And I noticed we got a lot of people. So go ahead and drop me. Let me know who's here. Let me know in the live chat. Just go ahead and drop. Say hi, hello, how you doing? Kiss my ass. Whatever you want to say, go ahead and drop it. Don't be shy. We're family here. All my main concern is trying to get you ready for what might be coming. And that is now before I get started on a lot of stuff, as my little buddy always says, all right, let's get started. Okay, that's what he always says. All right, good, let's get started. Now, back in 1990, now I joined in the Patriot movement back in '89, but in 1996 it was. We were in a national forest. We were doing some recon on some things. It turned out to be some Russian training exercise, and then all of a sudden we got some other intel about these Russians. Well, come to find out, we grabbed some documents out of an old vehicle. Yes, we probably crossed some lines a little bit, but when we got we got a lot of documents, and I don't read Russian at the time. I don't know a lot. Um, so we had to take our documents to somebody. Now we got some blueprints too. Now those blueprints were they were pretty much just self-explanatory. So to make a long story short, we got in something over our head. It was some Russians that had they had blueprints of how to go to your local hardware store, and at this local hardware store, it had stuff that you can buy and put together, stuff to knock out the power grid. And now this was in 1996. Okay, now why am I bringing that up? Now in 1996, yes, a lot of that was well, let's just say a lot of that was shut down, but because the current situation with Iran and with the sleeper cells, that's on my mind because I know back then they were making like RPGs that would knock out transformers and some other stuff from your local hardware store. So now I know with these sleeper cells, they've had all these years. You know how many years they've had to plan to be a sleeper cell and to live here, to simulate, to go, blend in, whatever else they got to do. And you know how much money that they put into our country. Well, oh, there's Monica. Well, Monica, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me. I'm sorry, but the thing was like I said, if I know the documents that we captured back in, like I said, '96. There's no telling what the Iranians sleeper cells. Now I seen a report. If you follow my Facebook page, please do. Go look at it, and you will see. I dropped some travel. I dropped some advisories from the Department of Homeland Security, where they're warning for something to happen, an attack. Um, so many years ago that we call them neighbors. Yeah. Um, Welcome, Texas. Look, if you're not busy, there's a link up there in the chat. Join me. Don't be scared. Like I said, let's discuss. I mean, this can be serious. And again, everybody out there with the talking head, they got theories, they got speculations. They become an expert in the Middle East. Now, look, I have been into the Middle East. I have been over there. I've been in a sandbox. I spent time with an Afghanistan family gathering intel. I've been around the Middle East. I've even been shot. So I'm telling you, um, don't fall for a lot of these people that thinks they know everything because they're speculating, and that's what a lot of them do. And sometimes if I put something out, I'm gonna tell you, hey, look, this is only a theory. But if I tell you, look, you need to be watching your six, it's not a theory, okay? It's a fact. It's that's all it boils down to. It's a fact. So, um, just like I said, I want some feedback. I would like somebody to come on here. I would like to talk to them, and thank you for Texas. Uh, for joining me. Thank you for Monica for joining me. And I got several others. I'm looking at several people here, but of course I can't see their names at the moment. And of course we probably got a hater or two, give me the thumbs down, which that's all right. They do not realize what they're doing when they give me the thumbs down. That still puts it in the algorithm that my videos are being watched. And by them putting that thumbs down, it also moves us up the chain a little bit, because the algorithm's like, hey, something's going on. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It's still good for me. Uh, but let me go to my page and let me just see what I put out, okay? Because, like I said, I didn't have no show set up. I didn't have anything, um, you know, no pictures, no nothing ready to roll. Um, what the heck? I hit the wrong button. I'm bad about that at times. Um, and I did add another monitor in, so I can see your live um, uh, text or your chat, the live chat right now. So that has helped me out a whole lot. And yes, right here, I guess 45 minutes ago, I said, heads up, watch your six. And this is for the people who don't have an inside source into our government. And what it's from a, excuse me, the National, it's from the Department of Homeland Security. It's a National Terrorism Advisory Statement Bulletin. And it was issued on Saturday, January 4th, 2020. Summary, it says the United States has designated Iran as a state sponsor of terrorism in 1994. We all know that. And the duration is from January 4th, 2020, 5:15 p.m. and it expires January 18th, 2020 at 1 p.m. And it just goes into some details of homeland-based ports, among others, planning infrastructure targets and cyber attacks. Iran maintains robust cyber, so what? It's an elevated alert and an imminent alert. Okay, we gonna get hit. Now, I did post to the page that well, who was it? Let me look. Um, Let me just go down and look. It was a U.S. government website operated by the Federal Depository Library Program, hacked and defaced by Iranian hackers. Okay, they're already uh, hitting us, but yet it hasn't hit us hard. Now, we know that our power grid, and that goes back to everything else that I'm saying, our power grid is on outdated computer systems. Some of them running pre-DOS and oh gosh, what are the other names? Catalinas and other types of programs that they're not very well protected. Some of them are pretty much protected, and I don't care what Q says. Yes, our power grids are guarded by the black eye. Okay, but um, not every bit of it. Okay, we can have some issues. We can have some uh, financial markets. We're just gonna have to be. They can manipulate the oil. I don't know what's gonna come. No one knows. That's just it. No one knows. But today, when they raised that red flag, it says. A red flag was unfurled over the holy dome of Jamaican Mosque, Oldham, Iran. The flag is a symbol signaling a severe battle to come. The disturbing war flag reads the words, "Those who want to avenge the blood of Hussein." Okay, so if you see that flag above the mosque, that's what I wanted to let you know what the words read. That's the first time in history that they've ever put that flag up. It can be ugly. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, I don't think they will hit us head on because they want to do asymmetrical warfare, and I don't blame them because their military, their equipment, it's their. Now they have the will, they have more people, but if you look at the region, they've been fighting for long, long time. So, yes, they are notorious in fighting and everything else. Our military has been wore out over the last 20 years, 19 years fighting this war on terrorism. We hadn't even really had time to upgrade. I mean, we are doing a lot of upgrades and repairing equipment, but our people are kind of tired of war. But what's happened with the Soleimani guy is he was orchestrating it, and I'm sorry. Uh, Trump had the right to do what he had to do because he was our embassy was being attacked by Iranian-sponsored terrorism. A U.S. contractor was killed over there. We know that right before. Now they were planning to do a whole lot more, and Trump's just like, he had multiple options, and he just said no, just take him out. We're done. And now, not only did they just take him out, now country hasn't claimed responsibility for this. I think I know who it is, but they took out the finance minister, a couple of leaders of the militia. Not well. I don't know if it's the finance minister. I don't remember his name, but anyway, he was pretty top. He controlled all the money for the militias. Okay, he's the one who gave the money. So I'll call him the finance minister. But he I don't know what his designation is, to be honest with you. But they were actively being engaged, and he got caught. Plain and simple. And Iran knows they got caught. But like I said, they've had plenty of time to do what they got to do. Let me see if there's any. No, there ain't nobody in Discord. No, nobody. Well, shoot. And again, like I said, if you hear people in the background, that's the guys. They're unwinding. They're trying to play the game, just relaxing. Um, just like I said, overlook them. They got to have their breaks too. Mm, sorry, but let me go continue on. And again, don't be shy. Let me go back down my page just a little bit. Well, I was going to talk about like I said, I made a post the other day. Well, 10 hours ago, I think it was. It said, for those of you posting about the Iran attack and complaining that our idiot president did something stupid and started a war, I want you to remove your biased feelings towards president and educate yourself on what happened. General Soleimani was actively seeking an attack on the U.S. embassy and was planning to kill U.S. service members and diplomats in Iraq and throughout the region. Trump stepped in and took him out to send a message that America will not tolerate this behavior. For those calling it a terror attack on Trump's part, I'd like to remind you what happened in Benghazi. The U.S. lost 4 men in a similar attack, and our previous administration won't even call it a terrorist attack against our own people, then try to cover it all up. I've seen a lot of people complaining about they may have to bring back the draft, and I'm not fighting for this president, and that really shows your character. It is not a president you'll be fighting for. It is other Americans who these terrorists are actively killing. You'll be fighting for. It it seems to me that many people would rather be left alone to play their video games and trash the president rather than defend the ones keeping us safe. I may not agree with every single thing Trump does, but this one I do. If you're killing and attacking Americans, you deserve the same fate as General Soleimani. It saddens me as a young man in this country to see more Americans displaying their hatred for the president so much that exceeds their love and respect for the American soldier and their hatred for terrorists. And that is, oh, thanks for sharing it. I wasn't at work. I would. Oh yeah, I know, Christian. If you wasn't at work, you'd have joined me. I understand. You got to do. Let me see what Gina says. He was in the war zone and his car went bye bye. uh, I seen a meme, Gina. I see the meme. It's like it had Salamani. He's like, you gonna send us a pile of cash like Obama did? He said, yeah, sure. Wait at the airport. Uh, so again, uh, yeah. Look, I guarantee you, if you are a militia member in Iran, I mean in Iraq, or any high profile person in Iraq right now, you would probably be scared to be moving around. I know if with the MQ-9 drone, Reaper drone, uh, so uh, they're gonna get them. uh, I would be. You know they're running scared. Now, I want to ask you this. A lot of you Q followers, a lot of you Q followers. Before I go that, Iran says it will not seek mediation between it and the United States, okay? Um, Now, I do have the PayPal set up. It's in there in the description. I'm not begging. You can give. You can help us out. But it's no big deal. I told everybody I would mention it, and I'm doing it. Okay. Now, let me see here. I just put this out 2 hours ago. It said urgent message. Throughout the day, there has been hints of a possible cyber attack against the U.S. And I just told you about the one by Iran in the next 36 hours in a retaliatory strike. While it is uncertain whether Iran has the power to effectively carry out such an attack, there are concerns that they may be able and preparations are underway in case. How can you prepare? In light of a possible electrical surge, turn off, unplug computers, televisions, other electronic devices. It said avoid the internet. I mean, it's going to be hard for a lot of us to because the viruses, the malware, and everything else. It says join us in prayer that the plans of the enemy will fall to the ground and be ineffective. It also please continue to pray for the wisdom of the president as he makes decisions in the face of ongoing threats. Pray for the protection for him, this family, our VP, and his family, and our leadership and military officials. Lord God, may the plans of the enemy and any hidden attack be revealed. Pray that any sleeper cells within the United States that have been awakened will be discovered, stopped, and rendered ineffective. There will be no disturbance in America's power grid or the internet. For protection of any Americans still in Iran or Iraq, for a safe escape, a supernatural protection over our military, police, and security from attack. Lord, we thank you. We said you fight against those who fight against us, and you contend with those who contend with us. Okay, um, I'm not going to read all this. Okay, but it's on our page. Please follow our Facebook page. Um, with a lot of stuff, like I said, there's so much information floating around, so many talking heads, so much. Now I am joined. I was just so happy to be live here, and one of my right hand men just walked in, and for um, identity sakes, we gonna call him what was it, Prometheus? Well, come on up here, Prometheus, and let's introduce yourself. Now, Prometheus, um, he's been my right hand man for you've known me for 25 years, maybe.
Maybe.
You got to
More.
talk. You got to talk up in here closer.
Maybe more.
You got to talk close. Got to talk louder.
Maybe more.
All right. Let me make sure that your audio's coming in. Like I said, we on a um, uh, there you go. Try it again.
Maybe more.
Well, you got a voice? Is your voice bad?
It just come from outside. It's cold.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so what do you think? What do you think's going on with this Iran thing?
Well, what it seems like to me is there's a lot of hatred going on. A lot of people that are mad about what the president did and offering to give threats on what they're going to do. But what it all boils down to is what needs to be done. What has to be done.
And what's that? What do you think needs to be done?
Well, for one, we have to watch ourselves. We have to watch others. We have to do what the right thing to do is, whatever that may be. Not worry about every single solitary threat that's being made, but be mindful of them.
Right. You can't live in fear. In other words, that's a good point. You can't live in fear because that they don't want you to go to the malls or to Walmart or wherever they don't want you to go. If you live in fear, they've won. I mean, look at Israel. Look at them. They're out doing their thing every time. Even missiles be shot at them, and they just go right back. They clean it up and go right back to like nothing ever happened. So that's what we need to be doing. But America's never really faced a sleeper cell situation like this. So a lot of our citizens are not hardened. In other words, we're candy assed. We've done gotten spoiled. We like our air conditioners, our TVs. We're being, let's watch the Super Bowl instead of doing what we need to do. It's just one of those things. But yeah, there's a lot. Like I said, it kind of concerns me. Let me see. Yep. I'm just looking at some comments up on the screen. Make sure everything's good. Uh, Now, let me ask you this: was you with me when we uncovered those Russian documents? Was it you, or was it another group that was with me?
It was another.
Oh, it was another group. Okay, I want to make sure because you hadn't come along just at that right time. Okay, I thought it was you come along shortly after that. Oh, yeah, Texas, we're absolutely right. And God, trust in God. There's no reason to live in fear. Absolutely, absolutely. There's no reason. I mean, you got to continue on. Like I said, and I like to see how it pops up on the screen. Um, this way, I also see it. Now, do you have any questions? Drop your questions down in live chat, please. Drop them in there. Um, and I will try to tell you from my sources some of the stuff that I heard if I can answer them. Now, I may not have all the answers to your questions, okay? I'm just a single entity out here that hides my identity to protect my family. I mean, I might not have all the answers. And I tell you, I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass I'm just not going to do that, okay? So, but a lot of people will. And let me get back to that. Blowing smoke up your ass. I'm glad that I made that statement because a post earlier, if you go to my page, it says, let's review Q Drop 1320. That was posted on May 8th at 1844. Now, I've seen this floated around today. I've seen them trying to correlate the drop number 1320 as the date that everything happened. And hey, go in there and get you something to eat. Go ahead and get you something to eat. Oh, I'm sorry. We got it's chow time and got the guys coming in and they're ready to eat. So now on 1320, it's not that it's a significant day. Well, it could be because a lot of people have been uh, like, look at drop 1320. They talked about Iran and everything else. How did he know that Iran this? Now, it says, let me ask you a few, the Q followers out there. I want you as a Q follower a few questions. It says, the post says that POTUS took control of Iran, correct? The post also says, evil has lost control or leverage of Iran, correct? You, the QAnons, are known to dig and investigate, correct? Then why do you constantly follow someone who places out false and bogus info at times? Do you think evil is still in control of Iran? Don't tell me that the clowns in America are fighting for controls there still. I'll just laugh at you. I'm not knocking on Q in any way. I just want to point out a few things. I'm sure if you dig at the past Q post, you'll find many, many more. Remember, in this business, every one of us has made mistakes at one time or another. But this is a major mistake or a blatant lie. Remember, there are many factions fighting this fight. We may not work together at times, but we have a common enemy. Just be careful who you follow. And that post, I want to know. I just want to know your thoughts on that. Do you think it was misinformation? Now, don't tell me this information is necessary at times. Yes, it is, but this is bullshit. That's all I'm gonna say. Let me see. I got a message, a comment from Texas Whirlwind. It says, "What is the reality of an EMP attack and time frame?" Well, I'm glad you brought that up because that's one thing that's been on my mind as a prepper, not with anything else that I've done out there, just as a prepper. Um, it's a pretty, even if it's a small scale, it's pretty. The reality of it, it's pretty credible. Okay, they are worried about that. I tell you right now, the Department of Homeland Security, that's one thing they're worried about. They're also worried about our water supply. All these, all right, if you was to go up to your local water treatment plant, and all you do is just drive by, if it's sitting off the side of the road, you ain't got to go out of your way, because sometimes you can see them on from the highway or whatever. You will start seeing more armed security at those water treatment plants. Um, the time frame, I can't give you exactly time frame because I don't know if the sleeper cells have been activated. I don't know if I'm gonna say they possess the capability. Okay, that's just what I mean. With everything that all the intel that I got was close to the nuke and everything, they possess that capability to. Uh, it was gonna be hard for a sleeper cell to do it. They'd have to have something smuggled in, but I think with this, as long as they've had, they could have got parts in a lot. And I mean, it's pretty. It's on my mind. It's high. I told the guys here tomorrow is going to be weapons cleaning day, and I normally won't say that, but as a group that we are here, if you heard them come in, the big family, the guys, uh, it's going to be a cleaning day. Um, and Christian, you're right. With the utilities in California, it's very possible. Mm-mm. Let me tell you, the utilities. Um, they're running on Catalina pre-DOS. They're running on some stuff. That they can send a program and start shutting them down. Now, do you remember some time ago when a lot of the power was being turned off and don't was being messed with, everything else turned off and being aggravated? Uh, that was some test samples, okay? That was some test runs, in my opinion, and that's some of the feedback that I've gotten in my contacts. They try to say it was just accidents, transformers blown, but what they did is they sent enough signal to cause it to come back, and that's what happened. And let's see, uh, any more? Oh, there we go. Here we go. It says, she says, I follow Q mainly because it gives great leads for materials to research no matter if post comes true or not. I know more today than that's absolutely. That's all that's you are absolutely correct. Correct. That's all what me. That's what Q does. If we can open up a couple set of eyes, then it's worth it. If we can let you. Now I'm not going to tell you. I don't want you to believe my word. I don't want you to take my just lay everything just from me. I want you to research things yourself. Now, there's some things that I have put out that sometimes the timelines have changed. And when I say that, me, Q, and several others. Now, I'm not in cahoots with Q. Now, you will never. I haven't said that. I said there's a few people like me, Q, and some others that will look at multiple timelines and see what's the best outcome of what's going to happen. And sometimes there's a lot of stuff that could play a factor. So yeah, there's some things that he puts out that's wrong. There's some things that I put out that's wrong. It doesn't matter if it's going to come exactly true 100%. Absolutely. All it means is we're trying to educate you, trying to get you to research, and opening other eyes. Now, sometimes they will look at you if you're talking to some people like you're crazy. Get used to that because that's just the norm. If you're not looked at like you're crazy, then you ain't said the right stuff. Because trust me, I have said something and they just look at me like, "What the hell have you just said?" hmm But again, uh, I'm glad you brought that up, Texas Whirlwind. I'm so glad. I mean, because like I said, I wasn't knocking Q. All right, I really wasn't. We have the same common enemy, and we with the many different factions that are fighting this fight, and he's just one of the many that's out there. Now he goes about it a different way than I do. Um, Yes, knowledge is power. Many of us have been busy raising kids and just surviving. I research current office holders and current candidates. Yeah, that's what you got to do. Knowledge is power. That's one thing that they cannot take away from you. They can beat you. They can torture you. They can take your house. They can take your car, but they cannot take your knowledge. Now, unless they done some of the sci-fi stuff, that's a little difference. But I'm talking in general. Knowledge is power, and that's what scares the deep state. Their deep state is so scared of people educating themselves and standing up, and that board game will be all over with. Okay, uh, and again, that's what it falls back to is educating yourself, self-educate. Also, it boils down to prepping. Go ahead and prep. Be ready for it. I mean, I don't know what's coming. If I had a crystal ball, I could just say, hey, this is what's happening. Now, I could look at multiple the possibilities and tell you with a percentage what might happen, but overall, I'm not. I'm just not Mr. Know-it-all. And I tell you, I'm just an average guy that has an average job. And let me see here. Let me see what they say. Um, People think I'm crazy because I say we're in the last days. No, 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 no. You're not crazy, Christian. You're absolutely not crazy. You're 100% correct. Do you think the majority of the Democrats are working with Iran to take us down? Or some believe this. Okay, yeah. No, the Democrats are just the enemies, plain and simple. They're not working with Iran to take us down. They just hate America, plain and simple. That's what it boils down to. So rem- remember what I said? We have a common enemy. Many factions fighting. Well, if they are Iran is going to be an enemy for the United States, they might jump aboard because enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's just the old saying out there. People not Q because of not having faith. To me, that's irrelevant as long as you research and come to your own conclusions. Yes, it doesn't matter if he's got if not having a face. Now, no, as long as the information is coming out, and if the information is coming out is correct, but some of this, what do you need?
Oh, where's it at?
Oh,
Refrigerator, bottom on the bottom.
On
In
the
that
bottom.
fridge on the
it's on the
bottom.
bottom in the refrigerator.
Silver pot.
Okay, it's in a big, big, big pot. You can't miss it. Like
Okay.
I said again, sorry, we got the guys coming all in. They're hungry, and I do apologize. But hey, that's part of it. When you're running an operation like we run sometimes, we got people in and out constantly. They got to eat. Democrats will side with an enemy of we the people. Absolutely, that's what I was trying to get at. They will. They are they hate America. And if you don't believe me, just look back. Look at how they're treating POTUS. Look at how they're treating you. Look at how they do our tax dollars. Look at who's they're swearing in. Look who's running for office. I mean, that goes back to um, we gonna be in trouble. It goes back to the 16-year plan. If you do not know about the 16-year plan, please research it. If Trump would not have won, please research the 16-year plan. I'm telling you, and that anyone that wants a new world order, they will. They will side with George Soros. They're gonna side with the deep state, and we know how deep, how fingers there, how broad of a reach deep state has, the new world order, and everything else. I mean, that's what they want. So, do I think sometimes this is a setup to bring usher it in from deep state? Do you think deep state could have orchestrated the attacks and blamed it on the United States and had him attack? I mean, there's a lot of possibilities there that makes a person think. Um, so, so anyway, okay, so true. So, like I said, I like your questions coming. If you're not too busy, jump on. Let me go ahead and drop that link back down there. I mean, let me make sure. Paste. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. Boom. I just dropped it again. I know you're at work, Christian. To you, wow, I'm impressed. Thank you. Uh, again, if you could help us out, help us out. I mean, the link's there in the description. Yes, Christian would be being beheaded and FEMA camps open for business. Had Trump. That's exactly right. It see Christian. Um, as you posted, we're maybe in the end times, and people look at you crazy. Now, Texas, a whirlwind, just yeah, they were selling out our country, and if I go into the 16-year plan where they were selling uranium to the Russians, where they were selling stuff to Iran and giving them, I mean, it's grandkids. Okay, so well, you got grandkids there, and nothing wrong with that. Spend time with your family, enjoy them while you can. Let me go back to my page. And like I said, I was not knocking on Q, okay? I was just simply putting it out there, and I'm glad that we do have some followers on here. Uh, and and let me put this out there now. The Renegade Network. Let me just say this clearly. That may have been Obama's or Hussein's uh, call sign. His little, you know what I'm talking about. This damn channel ain't got nothing to do with that fucking son of a bitch. We're not connected to him in any way. So a lot of the Q followers kind of back off from us because they're like, oh no, that's a renegade. They're connected. That's Hussein's channel. No, the heck, no, it's not. We don't even want to be compared to him. But we were renegades years ago, and that's just what it boils down to. So we didn't ever change the name. That's just who we are. We're renegades, okay? And we didn't sell out from one side or the other. We just basically a lone wolf organization that got tired of the bullshit within the patriot movement. That got tired of the bullshit in the political movement. That's gotten tired of a lot of stuff. And I mean, we're all our own. We're renegade. I mean, but yet we will help where we can help at for the better of the people. Um, that's just us. We want to protect every innocent life that we can protect. If it means me spending 10 hours in the water up on a surveillance job, I will do that to protect one innocent life. I don't care. A lot of these commanders out here, when I was a national commander, they would just take people for granted. No, you can't take people for granted. They got lives. They got grandkids, like Texas Whirlwind. They got jobs like Christian. So you can't take people for granted, and you can't mandatory make them. Well, you gotta be here. It's gonna be mandatory that you gotta. You can't treat people like trash, okay? And I'm not going to throw somebody out there in the front lines unless I have been there. Like I said, I have been shot. I know what it's like to have bullets coming at me. I know what it's like to be hot, be cold. Because when I was a field commander, I just wouldn't just go out and put somebody out in the field. I would go out there with them. I would go boots on the ground. I would be cold with them, hot with them, because every life is precious. It's worth the weight in gold. Okay, I'm not just going to treat them like dogs. Um, and that's where the values where we got to come back to. And as a renegade, and when I post a page as R, then it's come from me as the renegade. It don't mean this initial or some last name or first name. It doesn't mean that. It just means it's a renegade, and you know who it's from. And at least with this form and this platform, you got a face. You got somebody that's there in front of you. So I'm not trying to be cute, and I'm not trying to copy Q. I can care less what somebody does. All that matters is if I am um, live like tonight, and with you, with interacting with you. Now, I would like some more questions. We're here, like I said, I'm here. I don't know how long I was going to be running live, but hey, I wasn't even planning on coming on tonight. But I felt that the need to come on and talk to you about some EMPs or some possible power grids or financial, just anything that it could be happening. I want you to be prepared. I really, really want. Um, Let me see what it says. Texas Whirlwind said the 16-year plan was laid out and voted for under the disguise of Obamacare. When you actually read Obamacare policy, it covers the guillotines, FEMA camps, rail cars with shackles, and funded under Obamacare Act. That's right. I mean, it goes in. They was our country within 16 years would have been. It would have been bad. Okay, it would have been like the Bible. It's either you take that mark or you don't take that mark because you ain't gonna eat and you're gonna be shipped off. You know, if you're I don't know if you know about the uh, was it red dot, blue dot? I don't know if you know about that. The red dot on your mailbox means you're there's three different classes: red, yellow, blue. Blue dot means that you're conformed to. If you find it on your mailbox, it means you're conformed to whatever that they will put out there. You believe it, and you fall right along. The yellow one means they're going. This person might follow, but might not. This family might. So let's go ahead and put them in a real rehabilitation camp, okay? And they might come around. Now the red dot means they're going to kill them instantly. That's the one that's going to die. I mean, that's what it boils down to. So I don't know if you know what I was talking about. Just research red dot, blue dot, or Operation Garden Plot. I think that was it. I'm not sure. Um, what is the likelihood of war? Like I said, Christian, it won't be your typical frontal assault. I don't think. Now, we might drop some bombs on their ass. I mean, we might drop some bombs. We might. We just might do that. But far as them fighting head on to head on, they know that we outmatched them with firepower, with technology, and we're far superior. So they're going to have to fight us asymmetrical, and that's where they will cost more money for us to try to be involved in. That's basically what it is. What is likelihood for war? It's like I said, it's pretty likely. I mean, unless things happen, there's a 70 something percent. Let me look, 72% chance that there will be war. Okay, I mean that's a high percentage, but depending on exactly when, where, what they're gonna do, that's just we've never been attacked. You know that. We as America, we have always thought we were protected. Yes, we're protected by prayer. We're protected by, but have we ever actually, in this day's time, in the modern era, been hit at home? Has anybody ever actually hit us hard? No. Our citizens don't know what it's like to be in a war zone or what it's like to be terrified like they do over in Israel sometimes. Our citizens are soft, like I said. That's what's going to hurt us the most. If something starts happening, our citizens are not going to be prepared for it, and that's where the chaos is going to start. Okay? All right, let me see. Any more questions? No more questions. Let me look. Let me go back over to here. I'll back over to my page again. And I already did cover the Homeland Security advisory. I did cover about prepping. Now, I told you on December, let me look at it. If you look at my page, read the comments, there was one post, September 23rd, 3rd at 2018, and the December 31st at 2018, I posted, Iran is next, sit back and enjoy the show. 4,000 troops ordered, okay. I'm telling you what's coming. All right, let me see what it is. It says, Texas Whirlwind says, will we still have to choose one day between living or dying if we do not deny Christ as our Father? I feel President Trump is coming. President brought to us some time, and hopefully we will use it wisely. Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of people think that Trump was put in at the right time to stop that plan, that evil plan. And there's still evil out there. There's spiritual warfare going on. If you don't think there's spiritual warfare going on, I think you need to open up. Now, I'm glad, Christian, you brought that up. What is going to happen in Virginia? That has not been the topic tonight. What has not been on my mind, but I'm glad that you brought up what's going to happen in Virginia. Now, Virginia, it could be a clusterfuck. It could be bad because over the years, I know the Patriot movement myself. I have seen it. They're just open up their recruiting to anybody. If you're Pulse 18, if you, um, they will take you in. A lot of them will just take you in at the snap of the finger, and that takes in um, for well, agent provocateurs. It brings in infiltrators from Antifa. It brings in all kinds of people. They might talk the talk that you want to hear. Oh, well, yeah, brother, just come on in, and the doors are wide open. But I'm glad you're six. But yet, really, they could go to this Virginia thing, and nothing might not even happen. Listen to me, that might be nothing happen now. In the Virginia, there's not going to be no mass National Guard called up. I'm not seeing. It's going to happen about the same way it did in Connecticut, um, where they gonna put out a list. You can register weapons or not. Most of the people ain't gonna do that. But they're a lot of times. How many times have they that you known that they went door to door and taken up weapons in like Connecticut and all these other places that's got these laws? Um, how many? Okay, so that's what can happen here as of right now in Virginia. Now, you're going to have a lot of different entities, a lot of factions down there that hates each other. You're going to have Antifa, Black Lives Matter. You're going to have, probably the was it Patriot Prayer. You're going to have a lot of the three percenters and oath keepers and uh, just different patriot groups all around. Okay, you put all those together, you got a kettle, a pot that could it could get heated. All right, and if all it's going to take, listen to me, all it would take is one crazy person to throw a firecracker. I'm not talking a real gun. Throw a pack of firecrackers down, and people's going to say active shooter after shooter. These patriots are going to get to their vehicles. They're going to start pulling out weapons, um, and that's where it could get ugly at. Because let me tell you a situation. I was at a standoff one time in South Haven, Mississippi. If you probably Google Drew Rayner, South Haven, Mississippi, militia standoff, uh, basically it was an eminent domain situation where the casinos were coming in buying up all these houses for the land and everything else, and the person had their house, they didn't want to do it, so this was probably back in the early 90s, I think. Okay, um, now when they said they were going to come in at 12 o'clock and with the bulldozers and just bull down anybody that's there and everything else. Now this is from the councilman. Now they had the police around, they had the lines, and um, to make a long story short, the tension was pretty high there, closer to 12 o'clock, and as the time ticked down, the more people got antsy. And I even, as I was a young man, I was really really young back then. I was a greenhorn. Okay, I haven't even experienced a whole lot, but I got thrown in this situation. Well, I remember clearly as 12 o'clock approached, they cranked up the bulldozer. Now we're on a residential street, so that's not a whole lot of space between us and the bulldozer. And you had the county guys, you had some police over there, you even had the FBI there. Well, we had our weapons in a toolbox, our long arms. We did have our sidearms under cover, concealed. When at 12 o'clock, now this is what they did. This is what the government or somebody did it, um, and this is what could happen up there. 12 o'clock started. The bulldozer was running. They started moving it, and out of the blue, they ran fire trucks, ambulances. They ran all kinds of emergency service vehicles between us and that bulldozer coming down the road with their lights and sirens flashing, and you just knew, oh shit, okay, this is it. So of course I ran over and opened up the toolbox, and the guy, my commander at the time's like, hey, go ahead and get ready because this was freaking us out. This was a psychological warfare tactic that they hit us with that I had never, as a greenhorn, as a recruit, really never had any experience or nothing with. And they ran it down through the thing with their lights and sirens. And I put my hands on a weapon. He said, "Don't, not just yet, until I tell you to go." I had everybody's weapon laid out inside that toolbox prior to it, and all I had to do was start throwing weapons out. Luckily, if somebody would have thrown a firecracker at that time, those weapons would have been out. Okay, and this is what I'm worried about, the Virginia thing. It's another test to see people's resistance for lack of, okay, again, it could be bad. So if they use a psychological warfare tactic on us back in the early 90s, they will do the same thing to you in the 2020 era. Okay, so be careful of any psychological warfare tactics. Be careful of people claiming, trying to draw you into something, and follow and be careful of people who's asking for money a lot of times, unless you know what it's going to. Just look at their the motives behind it. What are they going to do? Because money makes people greedy. I have seen good patriot organizations who had honorable intentions at first, but once the money started rolling in, they started getting greedy. They start spending on other things. So just be careful. That's all you got to do. And let me see what it says. I was going to support VA patriots, but after all the bickering started from outside the militia groups, I feel it is better to send financial support to the Virginia 2A group. I would hold your money, okay? I'm just saying, Texas Whirlwind, please hold your money right now, because you might need it. Yes, they need some of it, but right now, I wouldn't recommend sending any money to any group right now. I mean, yeah, granted, I got it out there on the description to donate to us, but I'm not saying, hey, begging you like a lot of these other guys. Please, please, I need your donations. I got 3 chillins, 2 of them ain't got shoes, and I got another one on the way. You remember the Lord loves you the more you give. I'm not like those people, all right? I'm not. So you can help us out. You can help. You can choose whatever you want to do. But please, right now, hold your money for the Second Amendment groups. All right, because they might need support in another way. Because there's a lot of people sending financial support right now. Later on, you can probably help them out. But right now, I'm just saying hold your money, especially with what's going on with the Iran situation. I don't know what's going to happen. And remember, if you've got a couple of dollars to spare, buy you some coffee, buy you some toilet paper, buy you some alcohol, some liquor, go to the spirit store and buy you a big bottle of vodka. And that's not for you. It's for you to barter with. Never, never, ever barter with something that can kill you. Don't give somebody some bullets. Don't give somebody a knife that you can barter. Well, I need this. I'll give you a knife, or I'll give you some 22 rounds or something like that. Never barter with anything that they can kill you with. So coffee's going to be very important. Alcohol, liquor is going to be very important. Toilet paper, vitamin products. I mean, it goes on and on. Got on a new toy. Okay. Well, good. I mean, you need a new toy. I like new toys. Trust me. I have my eye on a 12 gauge bull pump. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I like a new toy, and I'm eyeing it. Okay. And I hope you know. I'm not trying to pull support away from any Second Amendment group. I'm not trying to pull. Listen, I will support the Patriot movement in any way that I can. As you can tell from my history, I am a patriot. I have been out there. I have done a lot. I've been to a lot of places. But I don't want you to get hornswoggled, as they say, or used and abused. There's a lot of money in the Patriot movement. Trust me, I know as a former commander, state commander, as a former national commander, I know them. I know how much money it is, and I have helped. I have used donations to get troops to the border. I have used. I've had help getting donations to get equipment. Like guy needed some boots. The good patriot stepped up and bought him some boots. I mean, stuff like that. Uh, but as far as um, just putting your money out there right now, just like I said, just hold on to it because it might happen in a legal situation that somebody might get in trouble or or something happens and you might need some legal fund. That's what I'm saying. Hold your money for because it's just not that I'm like I said trying to take any money away from it. There might be a legal fund that might need to be set up somewhere. That's my thinking. Uh, any more questions? Anything going on out there? And let's see, I dusted off my Beretta 12, used it at the skeet range for a few years. I want to go back. Oh, you got a Beretta 12? That's a sweet shooting. Oh my gosh, that's a sweet gun. A weapon. I like it. I mean, I like the Benelli too, but the Beretta is great too. I mean, I'm a weapons. I love my weapons. If if you ever now, some of you know who I am. Some of you don't. Um, so, if you know who I am, then you know I love my weapons, and I got a lot of them. Um, hmm. They says yes, she is awesome. Yeah, I bet she is. Sweet too. But I'm glad to see the females are actively involved. I love to see that. I mean, because a lot of times people overlook you. As a former commander, I tell you this right now. As a state commander, or unit commander, or even a national commander that I was, um, for years you were overlooked as a female. The females were overlooked. They were to do the dishes. They were to cook. They were to I mean, they were used for sex and a whole bunch of other stuff. I mean, uh, you know what I'm talking about. As uh, you've probably seen it. A lot of you female out there that's been in the Patriot movement, y'all probably seen another female join just to get with the commander, just so they can get rank or get General Kelly and Cassandra, for instance. That's all I want to say. Uh, so but y'all play a bigger part and you're not just out there for cleaning the place up or cooking meals or whatever or pleasing a man or whatever. No, you play a very big part with intelligence now, and they're still overlooking you. That's what's getting me is you've got a whole army. You have an army of women that are willing to get out there, that are willing to do what it takes to get dirty. I mean, yeah, some of them's got family, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of good women in the Patriot movement that get overlooked, and some things need to change. I mean, I don't know what the best thing is for you, but some things need to change to help y'all out because evidently the guys ain't gonna get no balls. If you know what I mean. They gonna bitch and whine. They gonna have a pissing contest. They gonna just get back. They gonna back and forth, back and forth. Well, I can out piss you. Look, my balls are bigger than yours. But when it really comes down to it, you can slap them. Trust me, I know. Well, if he done that to me, I would have beat his ass. Pow, slap him. Oh, you slapped me. I know I've done it. Okay. Um, I have no problem being behind. No, I just want to be prepared in case. I'm not saying you're out there leading. Women are dangerous when it feet. That's exactly right. Kids are in danger. That's right. No, I'm not saying um, going out there and leading or anything. I'm saying you're valuable. Is what I'm getting at. You're just not there for a couple of things. You know, the cleaning, the cooking, whatever else. I'm saying you have a lot to offer the movement, and just don't they shouldn't just take you for granted, okay? And I'm looking. Let's see. Wow, we still got a lot of people on, and I've done ran my flapped my gums and jabber jabbered for over an hour. I can't believe that without not even a uh, nothing even to go by. Normally I have little notes written down and scribble scrabbled all over the place, but not this time. Not this time. But anyway, since nobody's gonna have be scared enough to come on, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna close everything out. But remember, if you want to donate, if you want to help us out by growing, you can. The link to donate to us is in the description. Please do what you can. I don't care if it's a couple dollars. What we're gonna do is we're gonna upgrade our system, put more security on our servers and everything else. Yes, we could probably ask a lot of other people, but um, we want to keep this uh, publicly, okay, out there in the forum. Now, tonight, before I close, I want you to think about the 4 B's, okay? Your beans, your bullets, your bandages, and your Bible. Your beans are for nourishment. You're going to need your nourishment in a time of something, a crisis happens. Okay, and that's the same with the Bible. The Bible will give you your nourishment that you need. Okay, your bullets, if you're they might be out there. What do you think about the Arkansas? Oh, hold on. Let me back up. What do you think about Arkansas governor bringing in Middle Eastern? Yeah, well, it's not only Arkansas. It's some other Midwestern states too that are bringing them in. I've noticed that they're refugees. I've noticed several states just today that I've seen out in the Midwest. I can't think of all the names. Uh, that's asking for it. Okay, you know, I seen a meme one time or seen something that if you know they're rattlesnakes, want to bring them in because they're liable to bite your ass. You know, or was it the snake? The guy seen a snake on fire, so he put him out, but the snake bit him. He's like, "Well, you knew I was a rattlesnake," or something to that effect. Um, that's just you're asking for it. But I mean, some of them are good people. Now, when I was over in Afghanistan, right before we went to war, I spent some time gathering intel, and I spent a lot of time with the families. Now, I was invited in. All right, that wasn't mean that I was under protection. I don't know if you know how all that works. If I was invited in, that means I couldn't be touched by any rival clans or whatever because I was under protection. And they believe in a lot of that. Um, well, I just some of them are good people, and the people that I met in Afghanistan were really good people. Matter of fact, I had a couple of them save my life. Like I said, the rival. If you're not was not invited into it, that area, they would kill you. I mean, plain and simple, they'd kill you. But because if you're invited in, and the families, and they know, hey, look, no, he belongs to us. You know, he's protecting, and they won't mess with you. But I know what's out there. I know the evil that's out there. Okay, and if you're not prepared for it, you got awakening coming, and that awakening is it's gonna be a hard reality. Some of these people, but anyway, like I said on the closing, remember the 4 B's: your beans, your bullets, your bandages, and your Bible. Your beans are for your nourishment. The Bible will also nourish you. Your bandages, I mean your bullets, they're defending yourself. They're defending your family. They defend what you hold valuable, and that's the way the Bible is. It will give you the knowledge to defend yourself. Your bandages, well, they're to patch you up to cover you in a time that you might need it, in a situation that might happen, and the Bible will patch you up and heal you in a time that you need it. And lastly, not leastly, is your Bible. You're gonna need to pray because in a bad situation of survival, you're gonna need to come back on and pray, because it's gonna make you it's gonna be bad on you mentally, physically. You're gonna need a lot of prayer. You're gonna need a lot of guidance. Okay, so just remember a couple of things in life. Don't get trapped up in your head in that self-created jail cell. They can't cage you. They can't cage me, and they can't cage us.
Let that click roll.
You can't cage us, cage us. You can't cage us, cage us. No, no. Get me out here. You can't cage us like an animal. You can't cage us like an animal. No, you better back down or break through these walls. You better move like my name was Biggie Smalls. I'm like the god of Grease running around, holding it down, ready to smite your sound. I'm raging. I kill him every single time I'm off the leash. This dog bites even the hand that feeds. Beyond the streets, we get it on the beach, and then we take it down to the Isle of Creek. Cause I celebrate and lift my hands and revelate the sacred land. Cause I wanna break free, it's in my human nature. I'm gonna fight it cause I'm naughty by nature. And it's not cause I hate you and I wanna debate you, but I wanna detain you, take you straight to Albania. Yeah, I'm gonna rage. You better watch it cause I'm breaking up this cage. You can't cage us, cage us. You can't cage us, cage us. No, no. You can't cage us like an animal. You can't cage us like an animal.
Propped on the block where the pigs eat slop, straight off the floor of the office at the top, like they're walking a dog with the leash on, like a reverend getting his preach on. Wrapped around my neck, it's like a high-tech way to sign a blank check, waiting for a subject. Never ceases to amaze us that all we left with is peanuts. Half of the time you defy, it's a sci-fi time when you fight for your rights. So with all your might, we're breaking out of these chains because we're so out of here. No, nothing can hold us down. Stop locking us up or walking down the street and maybe smoking a split. It's just beyond belief. But the executive chiefs get away with the beef. It's time to stop repeating this broken motif.
Get me out of here. Get me out. You can't cage us, cage us. You can't cage us, cage us. No, no. Get me out of here. Get me out. You can't cage us like an